Greetings, everybody. Just hoping you can hear me, see me, let me know. Try playing through this one time while people are joining up. All right, you guys see me and hear me okay? Let me know. I see a few people on here. Oh, good. I was wondering if you'd be able to hear me. Greetings. Wow. Happy New Year. It has been forever since I've seen you guys. Very pleased to be back at it, and I've let you know via Facebook events. I will be back on here every Wednesday as long as I can keep it up. Winter time is guitar learning time. It's a great time to woodshed. It's dark outside, it's cold outside. It's been gray here quite a bit, so I just love it for woodshedding. And I hope you will find some joy and peace in that as well. Hope you had a great holiday season. Hope you had a great fall. I haven't seen you guys since June. We are going to start the year off with a Clarence White solo, and we haven't studied one. This is the 15th guitar hangout we've done, and I was just inspired to do it because on TikTok I posted one of my Tony Rice solos, and I heard from Clarence White's daughter, got a message from her on there, and she asked if I knew any Clarence White and if I could possibly post some. So that really inspired me. It moved me. I'm so sorry she lost her dad. Most of you probably know he passed away in 1973 at the age of, I think, 29, when she was very young. And I just thought it would be a perfect start to the new year because it will frame our position here with the scales that I love to talk about, the positions I love to talk about, and the chord tones I like to talk about with bluegrass. So although it sounds very basic, it's a little bit syncopated, and I was playing it without the track just now because you'll hear I'm going to play it with the track. The track is so slightly out of tune, and I even tuned this a bit to try to get it in tune, but it's not quite spot on, so you'll hear what I'm talking about. Let's see. I'm going to slow it down. So you guys can hear what I'm talking about, right? It is, it's a little bit out of tune there. So we'll go with it. We'll play along with it. I just didn't want to start you off with it so you'd be confused. So what I like to do when I do these is tell you guys what the chords are so you know what the solo is over. Of course, Cripple Creek is a super old-timey tune, traditional tune. Some people think it's named after Cripple Creek, Virginia. Some people think it's named after Cripple Creek, Colorado. How cool is that? And it was an instrumental, and then somebody added lyrics in the 1900s or so. And then most banjo players, it's one of the first tunes they learn because the very simple melody is just like a da 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 da. It's the A part, the first part. The second part is just da 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 da. And then for the chords, we're gonna play a G chord. We're gonna slap our capo on 2, and then we are going to play a G chord, a 1 chord, and then we're gonna 1 measure and then a split measure of 4 to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, C, G, G to the D to G, G, C, G, G, So for numbers, that would be 1 to the 4 to the 1, 1 to the 5 to the 1, 1 to the 4 to the 1, 1 to the 5 to the 1. Here's the B part. G, G, E, E, G to the D to the G, G to the G, G to the D to the G. Obviously that's, if you do numbers, that's 1 and 5, 1 on the B. So it's nice and simple. It's just got those split bars though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're playing along with Clarence or anyone, those are usually the chords we're going to play. So what does Clarence do? Does he play the simple da 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 da? He really does echo it, and he adds his own little touch with eighth notes right off the bat. So remember, if you're new to flat picking, get yourself a nice thick pick. I know you guys, some of you have these thin picks. If it bends, no thank you. You need to get one that does not bend to get that beefy, powerful tone we want out of flat picking. And we are going to do down up with our right hand. So all that means is we're counting this as a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and our right hand is going to go down up, down up, down up, down up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So anytime there's a down beat, we're playing a down. On the and of a beat, 1 and, we're always going to play an up, even if we skip a beat in the music. So our hand's always going to be moving and keeping that metronome nice and strong. Very Doc Watson, very strong. And this is one thing I love about this Clarence White style, by the way, like bridging us with all of that Tony Rice work we've been doing. He took so much from Doc Watson, and he's adding in a lot of that Doc Watson syncopation, and you can hear, where Tony learned from both of those guys. And it's such a fun language to play with Clarence. It's hard to imagine what he could have come up with if he'd lived past age 29 with, all that he did in his short lifetime. So what we're going to do, remember that melody starts on the tonic, the 1. He walks us up there from the 6, 7, 1. Now, I'm talking in 2 different sets of numbers here. Sometimes I'm talking in chords, like I just showed you, 1, 4, 5, 1. And then here in Nashville, we often talk about scale degrees as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So make sure on your own to practice your G major scale. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So that's a G, pretending my capo is the nut, right? Because I'm playing G chords in G scale position. I'm going to play a G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And then as I go up, I'm going to play an open G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So, if you do solfege, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So just like a lot of fiddle tunes here, he's going to lead us on up from the 6, the E, to the 7, major 7, to the 1. Da, da, da. Comes in on beat 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that's how it starts. So here's a little overview of that first phrase. That's going to be our first phrase there. Nice and simple, perfect for starting the year off strong with our down ups. We're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. Okay, so as I said, we're going to walk up from that open E, the first string with a down, and up on that 2nd fret, first string, and then a down on that 3rd fret, first string. Okay, so that's our first little bit, and then we're going to go G, F sharp, G, E, F, E, D. So that's, and sorry, if you've never done this with me before, I will tell you, some of you guys don't know your note names. So I've got my eyes on you and I'm saying you need to learn your note names, but that doesn't preclude you from working on this stuff, because really the ear training is the biggest deal with my workshops and with what I think you should be working on guitar. Not staring at a piece of tab and feeling separated from the music with a piece of paper. I want us to be always thinking about, oh, well, this 7 leans me into that 1. And so, since the basic melody is da 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 da, he's filling the space with some flat picking. What happens here? That flat 7. So, we're going to talk about that in a second. I'll lead you through the actual lick, and then we'll talk about why he does that F natural. So, once again, sorry, keep getting off track. We're going to walk up from the open E with a downstroke, up on the 2nd fret, 1st string, the F sharp, and then down on the 3rd fret, 1st string, and then up on the 2nd fret, 1st string, the F sharp, back to the 3rd fret, 1st string, and then up on the open E, open 1st string, and now we have our down on the 1st fret, 1st string, the F natural, the flat 7, up on the open E, 1st string, and then down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Okay, again, that's remember the basic melody is he's going. Okay, so why is he hitting that dominant 7? That's part of the whole reason I wanted to go through this particular solo with you guys. I love it so much. So he's on the one hand, he's, like we talked about, outlining that major scale, but why does he flip over to a Mixolydian dominant scale here? What is that dominant scale? It is just the major scale with a flat 7. So instead of F sharp, we've got the F natural. So take a minute, internalize that sound. Because what people often do before going to a 4 chord is they'll stick that flat 7 in, because it leads our ear in a very dominant way to that 4 chord. If we were in the key of C, if this were the nut, then G would be the 5. So you don't really need to know all that to learn this solo, obviously, but it's the why behind it, kind of like a math proof, I guess. So we're gonna go. That's where we left off, because he's leading our ear to that 4 chord. Ba, da, da. Let's walk up again. That's where we left off. Now we're going to do an up on the open 2nd string, the B, down on the 1st fret 2nd string, and then a nice down on the 1st string, and then a down on the 3rd fret 2nd string, D. And there he goes, just echoing the exact melody. Da da da. Remember, the exact melody is da 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 ba da da da, and he's just going ba da 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 ba da da. So let's remember that when we're soloing. Okay. First takeaway from this solo is, how cool is it to decorate a melody for a moment and then head back to a straight up recognizable portion of the melody. That's the first little genius bit we can take away right away today. And even if you're just doing the dishes and listening with your earbuds, this is really positive ear training and reinforcement, I would say. Even if you never even take it to your guitar, just listening to these insights from Clarence White and having me talk through it. Let's check to make sure people are hearing this okay. Hey, Julie Pinnell, howdy. We've got some good folks on here. So good to see you, Blake, Danny, Dan, Daniel, Drew from Colorado. I got to meet you this summer at Rocky Grass. That was fun. Hi, everybody. So good to see you. So we've gotten through that first phrase. Okay. And next up, we get to move into another concept. We just talked major scale. We just talked dominant scale. That's the major scale with the flat 7. Now we're going to talk for a second about this flat 3. 3rd fret, 3rd string. It's a B flat if this were the nut. What is the point? Well, usually with my students, we harp on the G major pentatonic quite a bit. Pentatonic, a 5-note scale, and in the major pentatonic, you can think about it as the major scale minus the 7 and the 4, or you can think about it as the chord 1, 3, 5, adding the 2 and the 6. So the chord of G is like G, B, D. So I'm going to add the 6, the E, and I'm going to add the 2, the A. So nice and simple scale. So go through this with me. So I'm going to go G, A, B, D, E, G. Obviously, pretending we're in the key of G here, as if this were the nut. G, A, B, D, E, G. This is just an abbreviated scale that is very simple to play and gives you something to play over bluegrass. You can noodle on it all day long and it's usually going to sound good. It doesn't have any of the offending notes if we switch over to 4 chord, etc. If you were just using a G in a different key, for example. But all of that to say, the next step I usually do with my folks is add that flat 3 to the major pentatonic. Because here we're getting into some very, very typical bluegrass language based on those exact notes I just said. The 5 notes of the major pentatonic plus the flat 3. And if you need a way to think about it, think about a G run. It's just the most typical bluegrass flat picking language that exists. We've got 1, 2, flat 3, 3, 5, 6, 5, 1. So what's my point in bringing this up? Clarence's next run is going to be exactly what I just said. He is going to play a flat 3 to 2. So I'll play it for you so you can hear what I'm talking about. Play it again. And then he hits that, I don't know if you heard that open B. I kind of think that was a mistake. We're not going to be learning that. So for those just joining us, we've learned one phrase so far right here. Let's loop that for a second to remind ourselves. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay, that's where we are so far in context. Next up is Yep. Da, 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 da. So we have 1, 2, flat 3, 1, 2, flat 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that little bit, open G, down, downstroke with our right hand, down, up on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, the A, down on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, and then the B flat, da, 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 and then up on the open G, down on the A, the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then up on the B flat, the flat 3, the 3rd fret, 3rd string. So da, 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 da. That's all we've done so far. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And then we're going to go down on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, the A, and then up on the open G. And then head into back to some major scale stuff. But this sound of flat 3 and to 2, I've just noticed that it's just one of the most important aspects of this language, this flat picking language, and it passes a lot of people by. And I've also noticed that when I point this out to my students, it's not instantaneous that they get what I'm talking about. So if you meet up with me next week and I bring it up, and then you meet up with me next week and I bring it up, don't worry if you're like, oh yeah, wait, what was that again? It possibly could take a minute if you haven't really thought about this very much. I think a lot of people would tend to think minor pentatonic for the flat 3. That's not what we're talking about. We're not necessarily talking about this as a minor bluesy sound. It's just a little bit of a bluesy, fun, cute, leaning addition to a major sound. See, I'm not really going into a bluesy, minor, dark sound. I'm just kind of keeping it fun. Just kind of... It's not bluesy. Does your ear agree with me there? It's not a blues sound. It's Doc Watson. It's just cheerful. It's a cheerful sound. The blues are kind of just, the flat 3 isn't enough to do it. And then further proving my point, the next phrase is straight to a major with this major 7. So, and then major 7, F sharp, 4th fret, 4th string, to the E. And by the way, that last phrase is a freebie. I think he ends every single, we have an AABB, he ends every single section with. So once we get that down, we don't have to redo that every single time. Giving you some context, here we are. That's where I stopped going note for note. So the next bit is a down on the F sharp, that 4th fret, 4th string, and then an up on that E, that 2nd fret, 4th string, and then open 4th string, open D if this were the nut, and then an up on that E, that 2nd fret, 4th string, and then a down on the F sharp, that 4th fret, 4th string, and then an up with my first finger on the A, the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then a down on the open 3rd string, the open G if this were the nut. So let's just kind of maybe loop this little bit, starting with this. Okay, let's do that together nice and slowly. 3, it starts on the 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4 and so that's our whole first A, and I'll play that with y'all again just to get it back in your heads. by the way, this is going to be nice and easy to speed up. It's just so down, up, simple. So you hear, you can add that fiddle shuffle in it, that heavy backbeat. It's fun. Right, so moving on to the second A part, which is very similar to the first A part. I think you guys are gonna like what's different about it. So the only difference really is that major third in the back half. Did you hear it? So this is a really great example of bluegrass, just mixing together different scales to create this, some people call it ancient tones. It was all by ear for them. Obviously they're not analyzing why they were doing this, but we're doing a flat 3, we're doing a major 3, we're doing a major 7, we're doing a flat 7. We're not necessarily sticking with one sound at all times, and Clarence really mastered this concept. He loved playing around with it, and I really enjoy learning what he does with it also. And also, of course, the rest of the track, he's playing around with all these ideas and doing different variations, and it's kind of obvious it's on the fly, which is neat. So let's just go over that second A part. So we'll start this time without walking up to that tonic, that G. We're just going to start right on the tonic, and we're going to go. So if you weren't here at the beginning, we'll walk through that really quick. We've got a down on the 3rd fret 1st string, an up on the 2nd fret 1st string, down on the 3rd fret 1st string, and then an up on that open E, that open 1st string, and then a down on that 1st fret 1st string, and then an up on that open E, that open 1st string, and then a down on that 3rd fret 2nd string, and then an up on my open B, my open 2nd string, and then a down on my 1st fret 2nd string, and then a down with my right hand on the 1st string, open, and then a down on my 3rd fret 2nd string. And then we have that walk up to this. So we have starting on beat 4, 4, and down on open G, up on 2nd fret 3rd string, A, and then now we have a major 3rd here. This 4th fret 3rd string with a downstroke. So just take a peek at that 3rd. Some people are used to doing this all this time, some people aren't. The 3rd exists on the 2nd, the 3rd in G position. It exists on the 2nd string open, and it also exists here on the 4th string, 4th fret 3rd string. You can hear how it's the same note. People often like to slide up to it, right? And I always go into my spiel about, here's our triad up here. You should always be visualizing your triads when you're playing. You've got your 1 on the 5th fret, 4th string, and then you got your 3rd of the G chord, if this were the nut, on the 4th fret up from the capo, 3rd string, and then my 5th is the D. So I guarantee you Clarence is seeing this when he is playing, because later on he goes, he's going to do that, showing me he's hearing that 3 and the 5 together, which are in that triad here. Triad is just a fancy term for a chord, 1, 3, 5. And then the triad down here is the 1 on the 3, and the 5 is below it. 5, 1, 3. Used to practicing your triads, this is another very, very simple thing to give yourself a ton of mileage on the guitar, especially here in G position where so many of our bluegrass standards are played. Go ahead and get it in your head. 5, 1, 3, 1, 3, 5. Because that's exactly how people like Clarence White are thinking, or were thinking when they're coming up with this stuff. They're seeing a 3 here, and then he's flatting that 3. Just to save yourself some energy of learning 5 billion solos, knowing you can come up with your own solos by knowing this language and these chord tones. Or you don't have to learn everyone else's ideas. You can be listening and you can be playing around with these chord tones yourself. So this is one reason I really wanted to start the year with this solo, this seemingly simple solo, for those who don't think this way and would like to get more into the power, their own power on guitar, by understanding where all the licks come from, rather than feeling like they always have to learn someone else's licks. This is going to be, 2024 is your year of coming up with your own licks based on flat 3 to the 5, sliding back from the 3 to the 2, and playing the 1. Just start coming up with different variations on those chord tones. That's exactly what Clarence is doing in this solo. All right, tangent aside. So this major 3 in the back half of the second A part is where we were. So here's the, I'll give you the context from the top of the tune. That's right, Scott. Going up Cripple Creek, going in a whirl. And I just realized I played that first part. It's supposed to be. So the last time I did note for note with you guys was when I was leading you up to this major 3rd here in the back half of the A part. So let's go note for note on that for those who are still waiting for an explanation on that. The audio tab, so to speak. So we're going to do a downstroke on the open G, the open 3rd string, whoops, and then an up on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then a down on the 4th fret 3rd string, and then an up stroke with our right hand on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then a down on the open 3rd string, and then an up on the 4th fret 3rd string, and then a down on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then an up on the open G, the 3rd string. That's where we are. And then a down on that F sharp 4th fret 4th string, and then an up on that 2nd fret 4th string, and then a down on the open 4th string, up on the E, if this were the nut, 2nd fret 4th string, and then down with our 3rd finger on the F sharp, if this were the nut, the 4th fret 4th string, and then an up on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then a down on the open 3rd string. So this is, a lot of this is for my YouTubers. I post these on YouTube later. Of course, you can find this on this channel and work through it note by note without looking at tab if you would like. There's a small chance I will be inspired to tab this one out and post it on the YouTube listing. But the problem is I like chatting about guitar with you guys, and tabbing things out and notating them is kind of like work for me, whereas this is just fun. So we'll see if I get around to it. That's where we are. Next up, we have the B part. Now we've got going into syncopation land. different from the actual melody. The actual melody is very simple, to da 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 da. So he's kind of taken a page from Doc Watson's book, I'd say. Doc loves these little syncopated. And hey there, Glenn. Thank you. Good to hear from you. We are going to go ahead and start on a double stop that leads us into my favorite triad. You guys, please, if nothing else today, walk away knowing in your heart that if you don't know it yet, you're going to commit to knowing this one chord triad here between the 3rd and 5th frets up from the capo. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Because here's my 3 and my 5 played as a double stop on top of that triad. And I'm going to slide up from a half step below. So my first finger is on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, and my 3rd finger is on that B flat, if this were the nut. That's where I'm starting. 3rd fret, 3rd string, with my 2nd finger. And with the downstroke, I'm going to do a quick little slide. So I'm strumming and sliding, but I do a ghost, I go down, I do a ghost up. So I think this is our first real ghost where you have to practice, because we're actually going to do we're going to skip 2 beats with 2 ghost strokes. We're going to go down, ghost up, ghost down. And then our next thing is on the and of 2, we're going to grab an up on those same notes up here. So down, up, down. But you're not allowed to do a nebulous random amount of time. I'm sorry, I teach a lot, so I know what some people try to do. They try not to do the ghosts, and at first they have to force themselves to do the ghosts to stay in time. It's a little bit of a tricky thing if you haven't been playing since, before you can remember. For adult learners, it takes a minute to get this feeling down of the right hand constantly moving whether you are playing or not. That's the flat picking way. Down, up, down. So really slowly, that's down, up, down, ghost up, ghost down, up, down. That's going to be the feeling. Okay. Next up, we get to go, and then on the and of 4, we're going to grab that with our 2nd finger, that 3rd fret, 3rd string, with an upstroke in our right hand. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's do that again. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's where that next little phrase is going to come in on the and of 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So there's another ghost on the top of the next measure. So my beat 1 of the 2nd measure of the B part is going to be a ghost down, because I slid up from the 3rd fret to the 4th fret on the 3rd string. Do you see how my right hand just keeps moving? Up, down, up, ghost down. So during your slides and hammer-ons and whatnot, you guys really do need to get used to doing these ghost strokes that would have existed if you had picked that. See, if I picked it, it would be, but I'm not picking and I'm sliding. My right hand still does a move here. So that's the next little bit. 3rd fret, 4th fret, 3rd string with a ghost, and then an up on my open G, my open 3rd string, and then a down on that 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then an up on my 3rd string open, and then down on my 6th degree of the scale, this E here, that's 4th string, 2nd fret, and then down on my open G, 3rd string. So that whole little bit sounds like. So the next little bit is also quite syncopated. We can loop that for a second. Let's do it again, a little bit slower. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, here we go. Okay, so the next little bit is similarly syncopated, but instead of starting on the and of 4, it actually starts on the and of 1. So that's kind of fun. He waits past the downbeat and then starts his next phrase. So it's like in context. Did you hear how that waited? So I did a little click to show y'all where the 1 would have been, but he waited. So the quicker you guys can learn this through ear training like this, the quicker you'll be able to pick up things, singing it in your head. It's just, in my opinion, also more fun than learning from a piece of paper. Okay, so for that phrase that starts after my click, we go 1, fake down, goes down, and then an up on my flat 3 again with my 2nd finger, so on my 3rd fret, 3rd string, and then a down, goes down as I slide to the 4th fret on the 3rd string, and then an up on my open G, and then a down on my A, my 2nd fret, 3rd string, up on my open 3rd string. Sorry, I'm getting lost on. Okay, da 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 da. That's where we were. Up, ghost, up on the open G, down on the A, 2nd fret, 3rd string, up on the G, 3rd string, open, and then a down on my E, 2nd fret, 4th string. And that one gets a nice little quarter note before our same exact phrase that we've ended both A parts with, which is that D, E, F sharp, A, G, if this were the nut, right? Open 4th string, up on the 2nd fret, 4th string, down on the 4th fret, 4th string, up on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, down on the open 3rd string. So let's do that whole first B part. 2, 3, 4. Again. So to end that one, he hits I think he hits 2 little G8 notes. Okay, just 1. Did you hear that? Da. So if you feel like doing that, you could just do a downstroke on that open G, that open 3rd string, to lead us into the final part, the final B part. Final B part's pretty similar to the first B part. At least the beginning of it is. I'll play you the whole last B part so you can know what we are about to do. So I'll do that along with Clarence, even though it's going to sound out of tune, because this track is kind of out of tune. This is the first B part. Okay, so for that, remember, quick review here, our triad. The one thing I would love for you to walk away with from this lesson: between the 3rd and the 5th fret up from the capo, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Nice. Hey, David Lee, playing my D1A tonight. Awesome. Good to see ya. So the top of this triad has our 3rd and our 5th, which is where these double stops lie. And this time, he's not going. This time he's going. He's actually strumming it. That's something we hear Doc Watson do all the time. So I'm guessing he got that from Doc. So let's try it. It's actually a little easier than syncopating it, because we're just keep the strumming going. So we still do that slide, but this slide is going to be a little different, guys. Let me point out, in the first B part, it was kind of a quick slide, in that it was our downstroke and then there was a ghost up. Do you hear the difference? Let's check this out. This slide is actually taking up a real ghost stroke. If I were to strum it, it would be, does that make sense? It would be 1 and 2 and 3. But that slide actually happens where a pick stroke would have happened. Difference again, we've got the quick slide. I guess it's it's kind of like a swung 16th note slide. That one is the first B part one. Okay, the second one is a true 8th note slide. If I were to notate it, standard notation, I would do that as an 8th note. So I've got a down, and as I slide both of my fingers up, I do a ghost up stroke in my right hand. Down, ghost up as I slide. Okay. After that slide, down, ghost, down, up, down, down, ghost, down, up, down. Fun. It's good training too. What is good training about it? I think it's good to have the discipline and control to only pick those notes of choice, the 2nd and 3rd strings. It's actually harder than it seems like it should be. So if you find yourself accidentally hitting the 1st string, just know that you're getting some great control and practice by doing this solo over and over again. If you choose to muscle memory this solo, or just walk away with a couple licks under your belt. Either way, whatever you do is going to be helpful. Okay, so after that lick, that was 1 and 2 and 3, ghost down, and then actually 1 and 2 and 3, and so it goes up on my end of 3, and then I have a down on my 4th beat on the open G. So, but it's a very lightly played open G, so if you don't feel like doing it, that's okay. The real deal is he's grabbing that B flat, that flat 3, to lead us into, once again, that flat 3 to major 3. Just outlining our major pentatonic with the flat 3. The major 7 as well here. So that's our next lick, and that could be very well be a lick you play in a solo. It's very beautiful in my opinion. So an upstroke with our 2nd finger in the left hand, upstroke in our right hand, 3rd fret, 3rd string, up. We're going to slide up to the 4th fret with our left hand and do a ghost down with our right hand. Up, ghost, up on the open G, the 3rd string, and then down on the 2nd scale degree, the 2, the A, the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then an up on the open G, the 1, and the open 3rd string. And then we're gonna walk on up diatonically, 6, 7, 1, E, F sharp, G, if this capo were the nut, open, 2nd fret, 4th string with a downstroke with our right hand, up stroke with our right hand on the F sharp, 4th fret, 4th string, and then down on my open G, 3rd string. Beautiful little lick there, and a slight variation from the previous B part, which is fun. So from the top of this last B part here, we've got that 8th note slide. Why don't we loop that a couple times? That's a little bit trickier to remember. 2 and 3 and 4 and... Again, here we go. Straight into it again. Sorry. Straight into it. Let's slow it way down for those who aren't there yet. 2 and 3 and 4 and... Again, slow. Okay, last lick. Here we go. I'm going to do an up on my flat 3. Well, I'll play the lick for you first. Cool lick, right? I love that it... I love that it's a combo of both of these positions. Why did it? It's just easy and fun, and an outline of major pentatonic with a flat 3, and it kind of jumps around a bit with that da da 6 5, and I think it leads us really nicely to the end of his first solo here. So we're going to start with an upstroke on our right hand on the flat 3 here, scale degree flat 3, the B flat, if this were the nut, the 3rd fret, 3rd string with our 2nd finger in the left hand, upstroke, right hand, and slide, slide on up to the 4th fret, 3rd string. So up, goes down, and then and up on our 5th fret up from the capo, and that would be it would be an E if this were the nut. 6 5. So we have up on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, slide up to the 4th fret, 3rd string, and then 2nd string, 5th fret with an upstroke in our right hand, and then a down on our 3rd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, and then this is interesting. Well, okay, so when I was listening to it today, I think it's the open B there, so it's really not that hard. Open B, open 2nd string, up, down, up, down, up on the open 2nd string, and that gives you a chance to reconfigure and then get to this next lick. 2nd finger, 3rd fret, 3rd string, that flat 3 with a downstroke with our right hand, and then an up on our A, our 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then a down on our open G, our open 3rd string, and then the up on the E, 2nd fret, 4th string, and then back to that stock phrase that we've been doing every single time: D, E, F sharp, A, G. And if you weren't here, that's open 4th string, up on the 4th fret, 4th string, 2nd fret, and then down on the 4th fret, 4th string, and then up on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then down on the open G. So let's loop that last lick together. That was a lot. I'll do it very slowly. So starting with an upstroke with our 2nd finger on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, that B flat, that flat 3, and we're going to slide on up 1 fret to the 4th with a ghost down as we slide. So ghost, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Let's do it again. One more time. Okay, one more time for real. Up on the 3rd fret, 3rd string. Up on the 5th fret, 2nd string. Awesome. So that's the whole solo. Let me know if y'all have any questions, and if I didn't explain something well enough. I really hope that you guys can take away some knowledge of this triad here, this triad here, and the major pentatonic sound. Really, if you just walked away knowing that sound better tonight, I would be happy. So let's play it. I'm going to play it along with Clarence at various tempos, and I hope it's not irritating that it's out of tune, but I'll just speed it up a bit as I go. Just remember that I'm going to start trying to be here every Wednesday at 7:30 Central. I'm going to mix it up with some Doc Watson this winter, and plenty of Tony Rice, of course. How can I resist? I've got a few ideas of what I want to do next time. Either Doc Watson, maybe Black Mountain Rag, or Long Journey Home, or a whole different direction, Tony Rice, Will You Be Loving Another Man? How fun is that freaking solo? I just love it. It's a little crazy, so you're going to want to listen to it a lot before we get together if I decide to do that one. And I'm going to try to create an event on, Fridays or Saturdays to give you a chance to check it out. And I'm trying to keep up with YouTube, y'all. I have not posted everything from all of our previous Hangouts, but I have a pact with myself. I'm going to do it because a lot of you are finding that useful. And I'd like to go my way up, because that was a really useful solo for a lot of people working on drop D and just in general beautiful melodic major ideas from Tony there. Okay, so let's play along with the Mr. Clarence White here. And also to mention, I would like to do some more Clarence White while we're working this winter. And also, I do have tips I'll be sending tips to Chesapeake Bay Foundation, something I'm really supportive of. I'm from Virginia. and grew up on the bay there, sailing and whatnot. So off we go, playing with Clarence nice and slowly at first. Let's speed it up. Here we go. I'm kind of smiling. I'm speeding it up, and I'm kind of smiling because you hear that big open B. I highly doubt Clarence meant to play that, so I'm not playing it. Here it comes. Speed it on up. I'm just going to see if I can play it up to tempo. Keep going. I did not play the open B that time, and I probably won't. I was just teasing before. Of course, it's fun if we had kept listening, but right now we're just learning this one. We're getting knowledge from this one solo here. Keep on speeding it up here just for fun. See if you can stick with it. Keep it going. We're not up there yet. Let's just see if we can do it. Alright, here we go. This is full speed. See if I can do it. try again. Comes too quickly. It's hard because it comes in right at the beginning. Fun, right? Yeah, this is a fun one. This is great. You guys, you're the best. Thank you so much for hanging with me tonight. You know I love it. It's going to be a good winter. We're going to learn a lot together. I learn by doing this. I do it for fun and for an excuse to dive into this stuff with you guys. So feel free to hit me up if you need to. A lot of you reach out to me, and I love it. It's fun to communicate. Love you guys, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Keep an eye out for an event, and I'll let you know what solo we're going to do. Bye for now. Happy New Year.